I moved to Dallas in '82 from the Midwest, and EDS was moving north.
Sure.
And your dad and we're put Legacy together. I remember we were working with Marilyn Casco, if you remember. Sure. Marilyn Casco, mm-hmm. and John Yeaman, and sure. I mean some names from the past. But what was the vision? Like, I mean, why did he put EDS there? Was it a land play? Did he think it would be what it is today? What was his
no. It's a really good story.
I would love it. I mean,
and so we were building. You remember the original EDS headquarters on Forest Lane?
Yes.
And that was an old bankrupt golf course.
Yes.
And we bought the golf course out of bankruptcy. And so I'm in middle school, high school. So every weekend I'm with my dad reviewing construction of the EDS buildings at Forest Lane. And we built a data center, and we built a 7-story administrative building. Right. And I'm walking that building with Dad, and I said, Dad, are we ever going to fill it up? And he goes, Ross, I don't know. I hope so. He said, we're growing. I said, well, how many floors do we need right now? He goes, well, we need 3, and I built 4 extra, and I hope we can fill it up. Well, EDS was growing so quickly, we had it full before we opened. So Dad goes to City Hall and said, I need more zoning. And so he was trying to get more zoning, and the city council wouldn't give him zoning because the neighbors were complaining. And he went to City Hall himself. He said, look, if you don't give me more zoning, I've got to keep growing. I'm going to have to leave. And the neighbors didn't want any more EDS traffic, and they said that the data centers hurt their TV reception.
There's no way that's right.
Because it was over the air. But we had 3 channels. It was all over the air.
ABC, NBC, CBS.
So Dad literally, the city council goes, look, he said, we're not going to hurt TV reception. Bring your television into the data center and watch television.
That's funny.
Dad said, look, we need to do it. Well, the city council didn't give him the zoning. So the reason you have Legacy today is Dallas turned down the zoning.
Okay, and when you went up there?
So we started buying land in Plano.
Right.
And Tom Luce was our attorney.
Right.
And Tom did the zoning case.
Right.
And Tom kept coming back to Dad saying, here's the zoning I have. Is that enough? Dad goes, no, I need more zoning. And finally Tom goes, Ross, how much zoning, what am I supposed to do? He said, look, I want as much zoning as downtown Dallas. And Tom said, okay. And he had basically enough. He matched downtown Dallas up in Plano at Legacy. And Legacy today is like 100,000 feet below downtown Dallas. So Dad's vision was a new downtown Plano. And the reason we went out there, number 1, Dallas wouldn't let us grow.
Right.
But number 2 is he wanted to be as close to the engineering talent as he could be. And he wanted the engineers to have a 5 and 10 minute commute. And he told all the executives, he said, look, if you guys live in Highland Park, that's fine.
Drive.
But these engineers are a lot more important to me than you guys are. That's kind of what he said. He goes, I wanted talent. And so he went up there because of that great high-tech workforce.
Yeah.
And you had the spouses. So you had unbelievable talent, and that's why he started the technology, really that technology revolution for Plano when EDS went up. So Dallas didn't approve the zoning, and Dad had the vision for a new downtown, and that's why you have got Legacy. But as I tell chamber groups, and talk to cities around the country, the first thing a mayor should always focus on, keep your existing clients. It's always fun to chase the new company coming in.
Totally.
But 80% of your growth is going to come from your existing client
base.
They know
Yes.
you. And so when you've got a company like EDS, leading edge, high tech, that wants to grow in your city, and they say no.
It's crazy.
That's a huge strategic mistake for Dallas. Yeah. And the mayor should have said, hey, Ross, we're going to figure something out.
Right.
We really want you, but they kind of dropped the ball. Well, and so that's why we went to Plano, and that's why you have Legacy.
That neighborhood actually undid several projects that could have gone on that site over the last 10 or 15 years.
That's right.
And I think now it's finally going to be residential. I think Leon Backus bought it. And but my point is that there were many, many good uses for the city that they I think they should have allowed, but they haven't.
You could have worked it out.
Right.
But that's why you have a Legacy.